occupiable space and was designed by a Chicago local, Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith was with the firm Skidmore, Owings & Merrill throughout design and construction, but nowadays he has his own firm, Smith & Gill. We'll talk about their current work a little bit later. As we pass by, notice this pyramid-like stance, how the building has an extra wide base but a rather narrow top. This position, this stature, is so it can support itself against our strong winds. Over 1,000 feet up, here in Chicago on an average day, we have winds at over 200 miles an hour. That's a lot of pressure. Now, this building's wide stance and then reinforced concrete frame give it the heavy setup that it needs to deal with those strong winds, but it's not without its own experience. Say we pool our money, buy one of those penthouse units and head up on a windy day, we'd actually feel the building as it subtly shakes against the strong winds. Just remember, it's our second tallest building. You'll be off to a great start because our next building is already coming into view. We're coming up on this black rectangular structure. This is the former IBM Tower, done in 1971 by Mies van der Rohe. It's considered by many to be a great example of the modern style. The modern style of architecture, popular from right after World War II until the late 1970s, was all about simplicity and frankness. If anyone on board has heard the phrase less is more, that was the design philosophy of Mies van der Rohe. He believed the more simple and straightforward a design, the higher quality of the work. Now, the building, done at 52 stories, features large bronze windows, open floor plans, lots of right angle corners, and get those cameras out and ready because we now have a great view of two of the most recognizable structures in all of Chicago, these big corncob towers that make up Marina City. The towers stand at 60 stories, opening in 1964 and 1967. The architect of Marina City, Bertram Goldberg, believed that art and nature should be as one. So fluid angles in nature, few should exist in contemporary architecture. The two cylindrical towers have circular floor plans and central elevator cores. That means all of the units, regardless of size, square footage, or direction, all start narrow at the center of the floor plan and get wider as they go towards the exterior of the floor plan. If you're wondering, what's it like to live in a condo shaped like a slice of pie, turn on your imagination and it'll help you move in. Pretend you just moved to Chicago, you don't have much with you, so a studio will be fine, at least for a while. Studio units here at Marina City, they are 500 square feet of living area and 180 square feet of a semicircular balcony. As you take the key and head up to your new home, turn that key, step inside, the threshold is only 4 feet wide. But once inside the unit, you'll notice one long hallway that runs its length, and walking down that hallway takes you past a sizable bathroom, a very nice walk-in closet, past a kitchen, and then into the living area. That's where the unit is its widest. You'll have an 18-foot span of floor-to-ceiling windows, but also the door that lets you out into your balcony, so you can start enjoying that 180-degree view of downtown. Next to us now, we've got some blue-green glass and these steel beams on the right. This is 321 North Clark Street, done in 1987. 35 stories of office space by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, and current home to the Chicago chapter of the American Bar Association. The ABA represents over 400,000 lawyers inside the United States. Well, in just a moment, I'd like to have us travel back through time. Before the edge of the Chicago River was full of office buildings and condo towers, it was originally considered industrial space, meant for warehouses and factories. Our next building, the Reed Murdoch Center, which opened in 1914, was originally built as a warehouse for Murdoch Foods, one of the largest wholesale grocers in the nation at that time. The building by George Nimitz, which is now primarily used for office space, might look symmetrical at first glance, but follow along, you'll see it's a little off-center. From the clock tower to the base of the building and then going towards the rear of the boat, we have 5 small bays and 1 big for a total of 6. Up to the clock tower, again to the base, now forward, and you'll see 4 small and 1 large for a total of 5. The asymmetry on this building, which is pretty subtle, is all thanks to the 1928 construction of our next bridge, LaSalle Street. Throughout construction, the bridge got a little wider than we thought it would, and we wanted to keep as much of the bridge in the building as possible, so we gave the building a little bit of a dive along the way. As we clear the bridge, you'll see lots more green glass. We're going straight to the right. The green glass building next to us now is 300 North LaSalle, done in 2009. 60 stories of office space by Pickard Chilton, and this building features one of the most impressive air conditioning systems that we have in the city. Water from the river is taken into this building below the water line. It is pumped to the top of the building where it's used as the main form of coolant for the massive air conditioning system. But that same river that helps clear the building and keep it nice and cool, well, it's then sent through a series of gravity filters. By the time the water is back in the river, it's cleaner than when it was first removed. We're going to have an extra large building just to the right as we clear the bridge, and this is the Merchandise Mart. It was done in 1931 by Graham Anderson Probston White. This building is a near perfect example of the Art Deco style. Art Deco was all the rage in the 1920s and 1930s. Easiest way to identify Art Deco in Chicago is to look out for limestone. Limestone is the soft beige on the exterior, and it's also the primary bedrock for the state of Illinois, so it's very easy for us to come by. But notice as well all of these geometric shapes. We've got this heavy rectangular border around the building's main entryway. We've got these octagons with that double M design to represent Merchandise Mart, one on each side of the entryway. We have gold diamonds along the base, gold diamonds across the top, green squares between the rows of windows. There's even a series of 7 octagonal pyramids on the roof. Now that we've covered design, a few moments for size. This building sits on 2 city blocks worth of area, features over 5 miles of interior corridor. The Merchandise Mart has its own L-stop in our transit system. It had its own zip code, 60654, until July 1st of 2008. That building contains 4.25 million square feet of interior space. That is 226,000 square meters. But next to us now, we've got one of the newest buildings at the edge of the river. Blue glass just next to us, about 2/3 of the way up. You'll see those 2 lines of venting, and this is the Salesforce Tower. We'll talk about it more in a second. Hop over to the left with me. On the left, you'll see the L as it goes over the Lake Street Bridge. And we have 2 bridges in the city that carry L train traffic on the top level. Lake Street is one. Wells Street on the other side of the Merchandise Mart is the second. So trains will be going towards downtown, like you see right now, and then away from downtown all day long, thanks to these bridges. Now that the train's almost done, we can get back to the Salesforce Tower. 848 feet of office space that opened in May of last year. And if you're wondering, how is this prime spot even open for construction? Well, this site, up until 15 years ago, was just a big parking garage. As those buildings age, considering the new views we have on the edge of the river, if anyone needs one more, now we've got the green line going in the opposite direction on the Lake Street Bridge. So as those older and industrial buildings age, they're typically torn down, the lots are rezoned, and of course newer, taller, and more efficient structures go up. Let's stay on the left for a little bit.